Hi everyone, this is Mandy with the Race Ready Repair Crew, and I have a pre-rider meeting for you guys. Feels a little different recording this on my computer instead of standing in the back of the truck with a microphone and looking at all of your smiling and excited faces ready to take off on the gravel roads and have a great day. We just ask that you watch this at some point in its entirety before you show up Saturday. The first thing I wanted to talk about, one of the most important things so that our morning gets off to a smooth start, is to make sure that everyone who is coming to General Sam's on Saturday signs the waiver to get onto General Sam's property. This doesn't have anything to do with the bicycle event, but to get onto his private property, every person has to have the waiver. So we have those available in the shop. If you picked up your bib, we were trying to hand you one when you were there. If you are going to be picking up your bib on Saturday morning, please print one out. It's in the first email that I sent you, and I will probably send that out 2 more times this week. It just will make the parking go so much faster if as you pull up to enter the property, you can hand your waiver out the window and you keep on going. If you don't have it or you forget it, they'll hand you a clipboard. You'll have to fill out the waiver and then pass it back out. So we want to make sure the morning gets off to a smooth start. If you are carpooling, whoever's driving, count how many people are in the car and make sure you have that many waivers to hand out the window, please. There's no entry fee. That is covered by your entry fee for the event. We pay General Sam's for you to get onto the property. You don't have to worry about that. Our parking volunteers are going to direct you where to go. There is a very, very large parking area. It's going to be in the same place that we were last year for those of you guys that came out. The parking volunteers will direct you where to go. If you're picking up your bibs, we will have that available Saturday morning starting at 6:30 a.m. If you can still come by the shop this week, that is the area where we're going to have the potential for the most number of people all in one space is picking up their bibs on Saturday morning. So if you can come Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday to the shop up in Conroe to pick it up, we will definitely encourage you to do that. I will stay late on Thursday night. I'll be there till 7:30. The shop hours are regularly 10 to 6. So Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 to 6. Thursday, 10 a.m. all the way until 7:30 at night, if you can pick up your bib ahead of time. The course this year is not marked with any arrows, so you're going to have to either download the route to your computer, use a smartphone and have the Ride with GPS app, or use Strava, or have the route somewhere, or you can pick up a cue sheet. We don't want anybody getting lost out there, so we need to make sure that everybody knows ahead of time that the route is not marked. Both routes have very minimal pavement in them. A lot of street signs are out there. Some gravel roads we're on, it doesn't matter if we told you what street to turn on because there's not any street signs anyways, but there are a lot of street signs out on this course. You can follow the cue sheet and do pretty good. We wanted to make sure, on gravel events, there are not officials or police officers stopping traffic. So if you come to a stop sign, by law, we're supposed to stop at the stop sign. Done a lot of gravel events myself, and I know when a gravel road hits another gravel road, sometimes we're looking both ways and then we just kind of go. But by law, we're supposed to be coming to a stop at those places. Out on these roads, you guys, if you haven't been out there, you're absolutely going to love the gravel. It is phenomenal, but there's not a whole lot of gravel grinders out there on a regular basis. So the cars out there, they're not all used to seeing cyclists out there, and we want to keep them happy with us. So please, anytime that you guys see a car, do your best to scoot over all the way to the right. Try to get single file as best you can so that the vehicles, the people who live out there, that they are welcoming and they don't, wave with just one finger at us. So the other things that I wanted to cover in this, the starting line, we usually have the big rider meeting and then everybody takes off as a big group. To prevent having 100+ people all in one area, we ask that you guys stay spread out throughout the General Sam's, the parking area, the headquarters area, where the cabins are. There's a lot of room for us to stay spread out. We'll have our speaker blasting some music right around 8:20. I'll turn the music down and we will start calling for the 65 milers. You guys are going to take off first at 8:30. And the first group we're going to call for is the fast guys. You're planning on racing this. You're going 17, 18, 19, 20 miles an hour is your goal for this. We want you guys to be up there at the front. So we're going to call for you guys first, and then we will call for everybody else who's doing the 65 to kind of file in behind you guys. We don't plan on holding people more than a couple of minutes. As soon as we get you guys lined up, we're going to send you out and on your way. The same will go for the short distance. There's going to be a sign for you guys on the short distance, so you have a place to kind of stage when the 65 milers are getting ready to take off. So the staging area for the short distance is going to be back behind the cabins. It's behind the restrooms, behind the stage area, and you'll see a sign for that. Neutral rollout for both distances. Eric will be doing the long route for the first 1.5 miles. If you're up at the front, you need to stay behind Eric. It is a downhill start, so you guys will be cruising pretty fast, but we want to keep the neutral rollout all the way till 1.5 miles, and then Eric will turn off, and then you guys can take off. Same thing for the short distance. You guys will have Gary at the front of y'all's neutral rollout. As soon as he pulls off, those of you guys that are ready to hammer it and race hard, you guys can take off. On the course, there's going to be a water station. There's one water station on the short course. It's at right around mile 20, between 19 and 20. And then on the long course, you guys have 2. Yours are at mile 38, and then again at mile 57. The long course stop at mile 57. That's the same aid station that the short course riders have. So we'll have 15 gallons of fluids there. There will be some electrolyte drink and some water, but there is not any nutrition. There's not any food, any gel, any goo. So make sure that you're packing your own nutrition for the course. The aid stations are not manned. We've never had an issue with anybody, dumping all the water or them not being there or them being empty. But please just know, pack as much fluids as you possibly can on your bike. We don't expect that they're going to run out, but we would just hate for somebody to ruin their event by not having anything at the aid station. So when you get to the finish line, I will be there writing down numbers and recording times. We don't do any chips for finishing. It takes me a little while to calculate the results. Those of you guys that have been to Prison City or to R3 Express last year, I will post them. If there's any corrections, if you remember you finished in front of the person I have you behind of, you guys just let me know and we will get those results corrected. We do have some small awards for first, second, and third place, both in the male and the female, and for the full Mackie and for the short. Those awards will be after the majority of the riders have come through. We also have raffle prizes. Once the majority of the riders are in, we won't wait for the very, very last person to cross the finish line, but once the majority of riders are in, we ask that you put your bib number in a basket, and we will be drawing for raffle prizes. At the finish line, you are also going to have a Moon Rooster food truck. They have some street tacos. We have beer from Lone Pint Brewery right out of Magnolia, Texas, one of our favorite local breweries. You will be able to bring a camp chair. You can space yourselves out. You guys can hang out all over the property. All right, you guys, our last topic we wanted to cover are some safety precautions related to the spread of COVID-19. There's not a lot of events that have been happening in our area yet, so we're excited to be one of the first larger events. We have 300 people registered. We anticipate about 10% not being able to make it, so around 275 people or so probably at General Sam's. And we want to do everything that we can to keep everyone safe. So we have CDC recommendations for social distancing. We are on over 700 acres, and you guys will be spread out over either 28 miles or 65 miles on the gravel road. So social distancing should be very, very easy for us. When it comes to masks, if you're going to be within 6 feet of someone else, recommendations are that you are wearing a mask. We don't have a lot of manpower to walk around and enforce either one of those, so it's going to take some personal responsibility for each of you guys. Events like this are not going to be taking place if hundreds of people are smushed into small places and taking lots of pictures and not following these guidelines. So we ask that you do your best to keep socially distanced, to wear a mask when you're up close with people that aren't within your group. We're looking forward to a great time on Saturday. And if you have any questions for us, as always, the easiest place for you to do your questions is to go to Facebook to the event page and post them. The bike shop has got tons of calls over the last few weeks. And if you haven't been to your local bike shop lately, they're pretty slammed all day, every day, 7 days a week. So we miss a few phone calls here and there. We miss some messages, but I can jump on Facebook any time of the day and reply to any questions that you have. So we look forward to seeing you on Saturday, and have a good one.